Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside, where we tell you all the latest news from the British League, of course our local leagues. The Afghan Cup has just finished. We talk about the Spanish League as well, and all things interesting in football. Budge, Afghan Cup's come and gone.
Yep, deserved winners Cameroon.
Yeah.
And 8 players never turned up.
For whatever reason.
Well, they wanted to stay with their clubs.
Yeah.
Keep the contracts alive, but I think that'll be into the international careers.
Yeah. Well, the indomitable Lions cancelled beat Egypt 2-1. It looked like Egypt were going to win at one stage. They were leading.
Yeah. Disappointed. I know that's a team I liked, Egypt. Disappointed how they played, but no excuses for them in the final. Better team won, and good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck to them. Okay, there was, before we talk about Premiership results during the week, we talk about Sutton, that amateur side around the corner. My mate, good old friend, Mr. Murphy, he's a season ticket holder. He's one of the 5,000 seats there. They've got the cup game coming against Arsenal.
Home,
They played in the lower division cup this week, and he drove 3.5 hours there and back. They got beat 5-0.
Wonder what team they played.
Yeah. So Arsenal, I don't think you have to worry. But it's at Arsenal, isn't it?
No, it's at Sutton.
That's right, it's at Sutton. Oh, well, you'll be there in the crowd watching them. But let's talk about the Premiership results last weekend.
Yep.
Last weekend was interesting. People said Chelsea, Arsenal will be a good game. I don't think Arsenal turned up.
Mismatch, Paul. I can't have Arsenal. Watch them live too many times.
The big ones get them.
Paul, I just think they're gutless come the crunch, And I think they're all trying individually, not collectively. And I think the first goal summed up the whole game. Your mate Alonso ran about 40 yards to get in the box.
Yeah.
Saw, Bellerin waiting, and he went. He wanted to get there. Bellerin didn't look like he wanted to get up. And
I thought Ozil looked like he didn't want to be there. Sanchez struggled. Take out Giroud, and they're a very short side.
Yeah.
Very. If you go right across the board, even to their centre backs, they're a very short side. They can play, but
not for me, Paul.
Yeah, but Chelsea march on.
Yeah.
Now, Hull City 2-0 Liverpool. It's been a wicked month for Klopp and the Liverpool supporters.
Yeah, haven't won in 5, and the goalkeeper, Paul, the ball's in the air just before half-time. Just come and catch it.
He drops it.
Yeah, he knocks it on, and guy scores the goal, and I don't know, he's got to do something with the goalkeeper. I don't fancy either of them.
A couple of those top teams up in the top there are having Man City, Liverpool are having goalkeeper problems. Everton, 6.
6-3, first set.
Yeah, first set went to Everton. Bournemouth tried to get back into it, but 4 goals up front.
Yeah, top goal scorer now. He's one clear of a few of them.
Yeah, he's the golden boot at the moment.
Yeah. Disappointed.
Player.
Yeah, he's just a little bit below the top, I think, Paul. You talk Aguero and the new kid, Gabriel Jesus, that's just come on the block, and Zlatan.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit below that, but fair credit to him. He was in the box and
he got the goals.
It was lovely.
Now, Big Sam's going to be chewing that gum. Sunderland rolled into town and put 4 past them. The bottom of the league clash. That's just not good enough.
Yeah.
At home.
I wonder what his excuse going to be now. I was just worried. His comment before the game, he was worried about Jermaine Defoe. He came on air. He said, "I'm just worried about how we're going to contain Defoe."
Defoe got 2.
Defoe got 2. 4 down at half time. The fans were going berserk, quite rightly so.
A player like Defoe should get the golden boot in the sense of he's a team at the bottom and he's up near the top.
Well, he scored 14 goals. He's 2 behind. I think it's 2 behind Lukaku.
Yeah.
But Sam's in serious trouble.
Sam's in serious trouble because he gets a big bonus. And then now Leicester are being drawn into that mire at the bottom. They played Man United. They were competing. Suddenly, boom, boom, 83 seconds, they're 2 down.
Paul, I saw a stat during the week that they've lost 150 more tackles this year than they had last year. So if you average it 7 tackles a game, now what that means, midfield tackle, you and I are going for the ball. Last year, I would win it and put Vardy through, or this year, you're winning it, and the defence is under more pressure.
Who's the boy they lost? Mane? No.
Well, they've lost Kante.
Kante, yeah, no, sorry,
But still,
Kante.
the desire, Paul, they look like the 4 or 5 have got nice big contracts. They're in trouble as well. Big game for them this weekend, Paul. Swansea away.
Yeah. And then Man City, Swansea. You got to feel for Swansea. Swansea have turned the corner in fine style.
Yeah.
And Man City looked like they were going to win. Then they looked like they were going to draw. And what was it? A lapse of concentration?
Well, the goalkeeper headed it straight down. The right back let him go. Free header. And I thought the keeper should have saved it anyway.
Yeah.
He parried it and Jesus slotted it in. Yeah.
And then last night, FA Cup, it was FA Cup.
FA
replay
Cup, yeah.
Leicester won off
They won 3-1.
beat
Both
Derby.
teams made changes. Derby made 8 changes. But
extra time.
Extra time, yeah.
Take the edge off them. Okay. Right, let's, before we look at Bidvest, let's have a look at the Premier League first.
Yeah.
So we're going to go, Budge. We'll look at the Premier League, and we might even have slides of the different leagues and who's in the top and who's at the bottom. And have you got a slide of who's on top?
Yeah, got the start of the top 10 there.
Let's have a look. Okay, just to have a look while we discuss the Budge. Obviously, those in black are qualifying, and those
Top 4,
the next two go to Europa League.
Yeah.
Okay, so Everton are just outside Europa League. Just having a glance through it, Chelsea march on.
Yeah.
Spurs are consistent. Man City have got a new zest. Arsenal, they're not far off, but they're in and out. Liverpool have had a bad month and only have 46 points. It's not the worst.
Well, big game this week, Paul. Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham.
Yeah.
And obviously there'll be changes there.
Every week, Budge, there's going to be one or two big games, and that happens to be the big game this weekend. Man United keep winning, but they haven't got the toughest of games this week, I thought. When they play those 5 teams ahead of them, that's when the crunch comes.
Well, Paul, I saw the other day one of the football channels. They were showing goals to conversion rates. We score 1 goal in every 12 chances that we create.
Right.
We're the 3rd worst.
Who is the worst?
I think it's Hull City.
Okay. Where would Spurs be? You wouldn't know if
No, they
middle
didn't
of the
show
log?
the top. But how can United be 3rd bottom?
Yeah. Let's look at the bottom of the log. Talking about the bottom, we might
Yeah.
even have the bottom to show you because there's a lot of action here now.
Sure, pressure on
Let's
here.
go from Middlesbrough down. Bournemouth might just be in a bit of a cushy place at the moment. Bournemouth only been -8. It's probably worth a point.
Yeah.
When you look at the others, that can still change a lot.
Oh, that's going to change, Paul. That's guaranteed. I think you can go all the way up to Bournemouth. Bournemouth, Man City this week. I don't see them getting a result there. Middlesbrough, Everton. That's a tough one. Leicester at Swansea, big game.
Southampton had a bit of a wobble lately.
Yeah, they've only got 3 points from the last 7 league games. But you'd think they'd have enough. They've got the League Cup. They've had 2 League Cup
I know it's
semi-finals.
early, Budge. I know it's early, Budge. Which 3 are going down?
Sure, from what I see there, I would go. I still think Hull are in trouble, as much as I like the guy.
Yeah.
Sunderland, and I think Leicester. Crystal Palace. And I got a funny feeling.
You're going
Leicester
for the
in
bottom
trouble.
3 to stay out.
I think David Moyes has got it in his team and his repertoire to get Sunderland out of it.
Tough.
Big Sam's got our man Benteke. It's difficult. And I don't see Swansea going down.
Onside Benteke.
I think Middlesbrough in trouble.
Okay.
I was having a bet
Let's
today.
go through the fixtures this week,
Yeah.
Budge, because there's a lot of interest. We'll start with Arsenal. And Arsenal are 3 to 10, Budge,
Yeah.
to beat Hull City. Now, let's just have a look at Hull City lately. They've got new management.
Yeah.
And they picked up 7 points from their last 4 games.
Yeah, and
That's good,
remember, they played Man United, they drew with Man United,
Yes.
and they beat Liverpool, and they lost to Chelsea. The first game, they beat Bournemouth 3-1 at home. He's got them sorted, Paul.
Yeah.
He's on the training pitch allegedly every day, drilling them where to be. And he's got a
Who's
good
in
record as
charge
a
at
manager.
Hull
That's
now?
Marco Silva.
Oh, yeah.
The mini Mourinho, as they call him. Well, I don't see them getting anything out of this game, but they're going to be well organised.
Yeah.
But you've got to expect Arsenal to
Arsenal
be
have lost
bad.
their last 2, so they're going to have a bit
The
of
fans will be going
knee-jerk.
berserk if
Yeah.
they don't get a result, yeah.
Okay, Man United 1 to 4, 12 to 1 Watford. Watford haven't done badly lately.
Yeah, since Tom Cleverley's gone there, they seem to have come right. But, I was at the game in March last year where United beat them 1-0. We got slaughtered. Igalo up front had 3 runaways. It wasn't for De Gea, we would have got beat.
De Gea sounds like a bunch of guys from Joburg.
Yeah,
De Gea.
United got a free kick and Mata bent it, keeper was standing behind the wall. They beat us 3-1 in the first round. This won't be easy, but we've got to get it. We should win
You've
this.
drawn 6 of your last 9 home games. That's what's keeping you from being in the top 4.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, well, 1 to 4 suggests a walk in the park, but as Bud says, it's not. Middlesbrough, one of your teams that are in the scrum, are 28 to 10 at home because Everton are 11 to 10 away from home.
Yeah, Everton going. Well, this Middlesbrough team, against Spurs on the weekend, they just sat back. If Spurs had scored early, then it would have been 3 or 4. They've got to go for it at home, and I think it's going to play right into Everton's hands. I fancy Everton here big time, Paul.
Yeah, Middlesbrough at home, the last 7 games, they won 3 and lost 4.
They just don't score enough goals.
Yeah.
And Everton at the back, they're well organised. I mean, you got Lukaku, Barkley, they're going for it. Everton is going for them.
Yeah. Stoke City, the Potters, there's a wonderful movie called Marvellous. Any Stoke City supporter should watch it. It's a very good, very heartwarming story about Stoke City. Okay, now they lost 10 games. They've won 4, they've lost 5, and they've drawn 1. Crystal Palace come into town, really, I think, steaming off that last
desperation
defeat.
game.
Desperation. Yeah. Can they burgle a point?
They may be able to. It all depends on Stoke. Stoke are one of those funny teams, Paul. We went for them. The game that got beat was at Bournemouth. That was the time we went for them.
Yeah.
And Bojan missed a penalty.
Yes.
But they can get a point. But
where's the speed that Crystal Palace used to have? Where are their pacey
well, he's back.
players?
Sahar's back. And Balassi went to Everton.
That's right. They lost him.
So Sahar, he's now playing more centrally. So,
so they've got to try and get something out of it.
Yeah, I think there's goals in this because Palace
Sunderland,
can't defend.
Southampton. Sunderland's been doing better. Southampton haven't, just in this little spell of time now. Even money Southampton away?
Yeah, I can't have that. I've gone to draw Sunderland. They were competitive again's Spurs. And when you got Jermaine
they were
Defoe,
0-0 with Spurs, and then they beat Palace 4-0.
Palace 4-0 away. He's gone to the band 3 at the back. They've got Kone back, centre half. I don't see Sunderland not getting a result here.
Yeah, well, before we get into the next games, Budge, I've got the top of the Golden Boot, the top strikers. Lukaku, 16, so he jumped 4 places. Yeah. Costa is a serious striker, 15. Zlatan, he's the first player of 35 to score 15 league goals. He's a wonderfully fit athlete. Yeah. Great player. Sanchez, terrific player, 15. Jermaine Defoe and Harry Kane, 14. They're all players I'd like in my team. Very good. So it's going well, but can Lukaku hang on? I say no. All right, let's move on to West, the clash of the West. West Ham at home, who are doing well lately against West Brom.
I see Bilic come out and said, brilliant signing, Robert Snodgrass, whether he's having a go at Payet leaving. They've won 3 of the 4 games since Payet's left. But at the Olympic Stadium, their results are in and out.
Yeah.
West Brom, competitive team. At home, superb. Away from home, they've struggled.
Yeah. Last 6 away home league games, they only won 1. Yeah.
So it'll be tight, but Carroll's in good form. I'm expecting a few goals in this, Paul.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, Liverpool Spurs. Now, Liverpool hot favourites at 12-10, Spurs 5-2. I think it'll be a tough game.
Yeah, it should be. I looked at throwing the win draw Spurs, but Spurs' away record against the top 5 teams. And at the top 5 teams, I'd include Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and Liverpool. They've only won 1 of those 9 games.
They've beaten.
It was only Man City away last year. You beat them 2-1 away from home, not at home. Yeah,
I'm thinking about
and that
Chelsea.
was 2 weeks after Pellegrini announced that he was leaving and Guardiola was coming in.
Yeah.
But, Spurs don't win at Anfield. They haven't won the last 7. But then again, Liverpool don't win at Anfield either recently. So
it'll be a good game. This will good to test the mettle.
Yeah, Spurs. Big game both ways,
A point for Spurs would be fine.
Liverpool have got to win.
Got to win, yeah. Okay, Burnley, who do well at home against Chelsea. Chelsea 4-10, Burnley 7-1. Can Burnley be doer and hold it together?
Well, this is going to be physical. This could be rollerball. They're going to climb in because that's the only chance they've got. Chelsea have got everything in their locker to get a good result.
Yeah.
But I think Chelsea should win. But Burnley, 3rd best home record in the league, Paul. They've only got 1 point away from home, and that was at Old Trafford. But they're competitive. Early kick-off in England.
Yeah.
Fiery encounter due here, Paul.
Chelsea have won 16 of their last 18.
Yeah,
that's
lost
fabulous.
to Spurs and drew at Liverpool, yeah.
Jeez, that's very, very good. Okay, Swansea City.
Yeah.
Lost 5 league games. They've won 3 and lost 2.
Yeah, Paul, even the defeat with Man City, when you watch them, first half they were terrible, but they hung in. Second half, they got the draw. Could have been offside. But I was impressed with what I saw.
Yeah.
On the other side, Leicester, I don't know, Paul. They've got the guy, Amari Gray, or Demit Gray, the guy that played.
Good player.
Good player.
Good player.
He's on the bench the whole time.
Very
and
good
I can't
player.
understand why. For me, I would drop Vardy. He's been garbage. Mahrez has been missing. Drinkwater in the middle of the park. Can't create anything. This is big game for Leicester. Of the 2 teams, Paul, I think Swansea will murder them.
Okay, you can get a bit of 14-10 Swansea, 2-1 there. Okay, then let's move on to Bournemouth, who do a good job at home, but Bournemouth at home in their day have stopped big guns.
Sure.
They've beaten big guns. They beat Liverpool. They stopped Spurs. Well, they held them to a draw. Now they've got Man City rolling into town with Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah. Paul, it's been mentioned in the last couple of shows we've done. They've lost Nathan Ake. He's gone back to Chelsea. The 5 games he's missed, or he's gone, conceded 16 goals.
Is this Bournemouth?
Bournemouth, yeah. Now, Man City stroll into town. I think this is going to be a 3-4-1 job.
Man City are rolling.
Yeah, I know defensively there's still question marks, but attack-wise, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's move on to PSL now. And a lot of interesting stuff at PSL. Let's go straight into them. Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
Nice to see them back playing. We'll get the league back rolling again against Orlando Pirates. Pirates, but they draw too many.
Yeah, draw too many, you know. They were on last night against Bloemfontein Celtic, and the left winger went past the right back. All he's got to do is cut it back. He went for the glory and blasted into the side netting. I don't know how much harmony's in that Pirates camp.
Yeah.
You know, Sundowns, on the other hand, 1-7, lost 1, last 8. Got to fancy them. But Pirates have a way of turning up in these big games.
Yeah.
Expect Sundowns, but
5th
a draw.
place 10th.
Yeah.
Okay, then Golden Arrows against Bloem Celtic. 8th place for 13th.
Jeez, if ever there's a game that should be under 2.5 goals written all over it, this is the one. You know,
It'll
Golden
be a tight
Arrows.
game.
They've only won 1 of the last 10. The last 7 haven't won. And they got beat 5-2 at Supersport last night. Bloemfontein Celtic, league's lowest scorers. I think they've only scored 8 goals in 15 league games.
Wow.
So
Gee, that's not
0-0 written all over that one.
Or 1-0. Ajax Cape Town City, that is 11th playing 3rd.
Should be a good game. I watched the first encounter between the two. Cape Town City won 1-0. Was a good game. You know, Wits beat Ajax 5-0 on Tuesday. So that would have, you know,
There's either
scuppered
a
the wings and the
knee-jerk reaction
sails.
coming or they're on the roll down.
Of the two teams, Cape Town City going well under Eric Tinkler.
Telkom knockout winners.
Yeah. Local derby, Paul.
Yeah.
It'll be
Okay,
close.
then team in 7th, Maritzburg United take on the mighty Chiefs. Roger de Saar's moved in.
Yeah, one of the worst kept secrets in football, Roger going to Maritzburg. But good luck to him. You know, hard to beat Maritzburg, but they draw too many games.
Yeah.
The worst thing for them against Chiefs is they've conceded in the last 7 home games.
Maritzburg's
Chiefs-
last 11 games only lost 1, even though they drew 7.
Almost to Cape Town City away.
Yeah.
But going well, hard
Chiefs,
to beat.
Kaiser won their last 3. Are
Yeah.
Chiefs on a roll again?
Yep, on the way back, yeah.
On the way back. Still same boy in charge?
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to our boy Gordon Nickerson's Highland Park. They got a drubbing during the week.
Yeah.
But at home, they're a different side.
Yeah,
Gordon's
well-
always been tight in the defences.
Yeah.
They've got Polokwane visiting.
Well, if ever there's a game they should win, Polokwane have only won 2 of the last 25 away league games.
Wow.
They're in 6th place, Polokwane. They've improved lately.
Yeah.
But this is a big game for Gordon. He's got to get a result here.
Yeah, his last 5 home league matches, he's won 1, drawn 3, and lost 1. So he doesn't get beat too easily.
I think it's at Tembisa where they play.
Yeah,
Difficult place.
and if we look at the log, you will see that they're in a situation where it's a bit of a scramble at the bottom.
Yeah.
I actually got the log in front of me, and just, I don't know if we've got a slide of it, but the PSL standings, I just want to just let people know the PSL standings. The top 5 in the PSL at the moment, and 28 points Supersport, that's after 15 games. 14 games Bidvest, 28 points, and Cape Town City, 16 games, 28 points. So if you look at it on face value, Bidvest's got the advantage because they're all on 28. 27 points, Kaiser Chiefs, 16 matches. And then Sundowns, is that 10 matches?
Yeah, well, they were involved in the CAF Champions League, so all their games
22
got
points.
postponed. Yeah.
So they could roll straight back into it. So it's tough at the top.
Well, you've got to beat Sundowns. I think the only team that should beat or can beat them will be Wits.
Okay, and let's go at the bottom. Baroka FC, 16 games, 12 points. Highlands Park, 16 games, 13 points. Free State Stars, 16 games, 14 points. Then 2 teams on 15 games. Platinum Stars and Bloem Celtic on 15 points. So it goes from 12 to 15, tight at the bottom.
Tight at the bottom, yeah. A couple of victories and you're in mid-table.
Yeah, they play 30 league matches there.
Yeah.
It's a long way to run.
Yeah.
If you work it out, Sundowns have still got 20 games to play.
And they've got Champions League as well, the CAF Champions
Have
League.
they got a good squad?
Yeah, big squad.
Okay, we did the league results. Did we do the league results on the PSL? I don't think we did.
No,
Bidvest 5, AJ Cape Town 0. That's a thumping.
thumping, yeah.
Cape Town City 3, Highlands 0.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. A very clinical Cape Town City. You know, Gordon's team cup defensive lapses and they got punished.
Punished. Kaiser Chiefs keep rolling on. They beat Free State Stars
Yeah,
3-1.
it was a good game. They were competitive Free State Stars, yeah.
Yeah. And then Chipper United beat Baroka, which keeps Baroka at the bottom, 2-1. Wednesday's PSL results. Platinum Stars, Orlando Pirates. Again, Orlando Pirates can't.
I watched a bit of that. I was flicking between channels between them and Mamelodi Sundowns. Just the last third, Paul. I don't know if they do any training in the last third, but geez, they just keep giving away, making wrong decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. They're 10th place, Belinda Pirates.
Yeah.
Supersport 5-2 Golden Arrows. Scoring
Yeah.
5, you've had a good game.
Yeah.
Bloom Celtic got beat at home to Sundowns.
They had chances too to score, but
Did they?
can't score, and then got punished.
Polokwane and Maritzburg. That Maritzburg game, did Desar take?
That was his first game in charge.
First game. So
They
they're
won
going to draw away.
Yeah.
Okay, now comes the official soccer pools, the Soccer Six. We've got 2 Soccer Sixes. Budge, here, run us through what you've gone for in your ideas.
Well, I've gone the first game, Golden Arrows. I've gone win and draw against Celtic. Celtic don't win anywhere, let alone score. I've gone 1 and 2, the draw with Sundowns. As much as I like Sundowns, I just thought that Dortmund, who are playing Darmstadt are bottom of the league. They've got 1 point from the last 12 games. Dortmund beat Leipzig at home, who are second, coming well. They've got to be a banker. Schalke, Hertha, Berlin. Schalke drew at Bayern Munich last week, but they've still got a few injuries. Hertha are going well. They're 6th, 4th best away league record. So I've gone 1, 2, 3 there. Also the Cape Town derby. Hard to predict the derby. And Chiefs have come right. I was impressed with what I saw them the other night. Maritzburg can't keep a clean sheet at home. And if they concede, I think they'll get beat. The only other alternative would be to throw the draw in with Chiefs in the draw and bank a Sundowns. But that's the way we're going to go, Paul.
Okay, perfect. There's your usual 2-1-6. Now, the second one, this is the
English Premiership.
Yeah.
And I think Man United and Everton will both win. So there are 2 bankers. I've thrown the draw in with Stoke. I've given Sunderland the benefit of the doubt against Southampton. I think the other 2 are hard games. I think West Ham, West Brom, 1, 2, 3. And I've gone 1, 2, 3, the Liverpool Spurs game.
Okie dokie. 2-1-6 spent as well. Soccer 6. Now the Soccer 10. Now it starts getting a bit interesting, Budge. You've got to hope for a bit of luck here.
Well, I've gone arrows in the draw against Bloemfontein Celtic. I've bankered Sundowns because I had to find another banker. Likewise, I've bankered Man United and Everton. I've gone Stoke 1 and 2 against Crystal Palace.
Okay, and the second page of that, here we go.
Okay, I've gone Sunderland 1 and 2 against Southampton. I've gone the field in the West Ham, West Brom, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Ajax, Cape Town City. And, I've banked Chiefs to beat Maritzburg in the last, 432.
432, okay. And then the big one to get you out of it for
at least
I've got
a year. A few bankers, especially in the Championship. I've gone the field, Liverpool, Tottenham. I've gone Man United and Everton to beat Watford and Middlesbrough. I've gone Stoke win and draw against Palace. Sunderland win and draw against Southampton. I've gone the field, West Brom against West Ham. I've gone 1 and 2 Aston Villa against Ipswich. Now, Aston Villa, Steve Bruce's team, they've struggled. They're unbeaten at home this year. They've won 6 and drawn 7 of the 13 home league games. But, Ipswich are one of those funny teams, Mick McCarthy's teams. When you least expect it, up they came, and they drew at Preston the other week. So I've gone 1 and 2 there.
Okay.
Now, the second slide, you'll see a lot of bankers. I like Brighton. The last 11 home league games, they've won 9 and drawn 2.
Burton
are struggling. That's the Seagulls, Chris Hughton's team. Now, Derby last night, they made 8 changes against Leicester. They've won 7, drawn 2 of the last 9 home league games, and they've kept 8 clean sheets. Bristol City, the worst form team in England, so I've banked them. Leeds against Cardiff. Now, this will be a competitive game, but Leeds have won their last 6 home games. Haven't conceded a goal, so, I've got to go for them.
Is that Monk?
That's Gary Monk at Leeds, ex-Swansea man.
Yeah.
Norwich at home, they've come well. They've won 5, and the only game they lost was Huddersfield. Nottingham Forest can't keep a clean sheet. I think there'll be goals in that one, but I fancy Norwich. QPR is our man Holloway's team. They're inconsistent, but at home they're always competitive. Huddersfield going well, but away from home they're a bit dodgy. So I've gone the field there. And Reading, Job Stump's team.
Yeah.
Going well at home, and I think they'll be too good for Barnsley.
Okay, right. To me, the best part of the show is your bets, but because we're going with another winning bet last week. And if you follow these bets, you're going to be in front. We keep an eye on our balances and work out where things are going. But these are Budge's. We're going to put the slide up now. Here is Budge's bets.
I've gone Premiership treble. I've gone Everton to beat Middlesbrough. I've gone Swansea to beat Leicester. And I've gone win-draw Sunderland against Southampton. 15,
just for the public out there, if Sunderland
draw, that's good enough. As long as they don't get beat.
Okay. So Championship treble.
Yeah, I've gone Leeds to beat Cardiff. I've gone Reading to beat Barnsley. And I think Derby will be too good for Bristol City. That worked out just over 5-1. So that covers our money if we collect. They're both teams to score more.
So Track and Ball worked these out for you?
Yep, I take they're all the bets are on before we do the show, so we don't thumbsuck any prices.
Yeah.
Those are the actual bets on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Both teams to score.
Yeah, we got 11-1 on these 4 games. I think West Ham, West Brom, Stoke, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Chelsea. Some may think Chelsea don't concede, but Burnley at home, they always score.
Chelsea
and I think,
concede.
And Rotherham Blackburn, it's a championship relegation battle. Bottom 2 teams.
Whoa.
They both got to go for it. This won't be 0-0.
Yeah, they have to have
They've both got to have a go.
Rotherham
So
are really struggling. I can only see them going one way.
So, 2,240 to 200.
Okay, now let's go your next slide.
Now, this is what got us some money last week. Norwich and Man City have to win. Norwich are playing Nottingham Forest at home. Man City are away to Bournemouth. And all the 4 teams must score.
Got you.
So it's 2-1, 3-1, whatever. So we just got under 8-1, which I thought was a good price.
Yeah.
Now, the Spanish treble, Barcelona and Real Madrid to score over 2.5 goals. Barcelona are playing Alaves. They got to the Copa del Rey final last night, so they'll be on their last legs. And Real Madrid are playing the worst team in Spain, Osasuna. And then both teams to score in the Atletico Bilbao Deportivo La Coruña game. That worked out just over 6-1, 12.60 to 200.
But every week you spend the grand, 5 bets of 200. It's a good system, and our kitty's building all the time. And I do like the look of it. Budge, looks like a great weekend. Which is the early game Saturday, Sunday?
Arsenal, Hull City.
Arsenal, Hull City, the early game, and on Sunday is there?
Sunday, Burnley, Chelsea, 3:30 our time, which is 1 in England.
And South African games all over the weekend.
Yeah, there's 5 games over the weekend. 3:30 on Saturday. There's 2, 8 o'clock, 2 on Friday, and 3:30 Gordon's on Sunday.
Okay, well, there we go. It looks like very interesting football. As it is each weekend, there's always something to try and decipher. But I do like our bets. Our kitty's getting bigger all the time, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you're on side.